Fun fact, I learned how to change a tire in a snowstorm on Valentine's Day driving home from a Spice Girls concert.
That's the gayest thing I've ever heard.
Welcome to the BoyFriends podcast, where we help you find your circle
and your man.
I'm Jarrod D King, and I am here with Noel and Greg, and we are also here with a couple of special guests. We have Pavan. Hello, Pavan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Doing well. And this is my brother, Justin.
Yo.
Hey. What's going on?
Nothing
Thank
much.
you for joining us on this Super Bowl Sunday.
Thank you for having me.
That's
Exactly where I want to be.
I know it's a bit.
During the Super Bowl. This is where I want to be.
Throw some pigskins around.
Yeah.
So our topic today is the strange relationship between gay men and straight men. But first, why don't we get a couple of introductions from you guys? Pavan, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I am a recently married 28-year-old. I've been living in Philly for about a decade now. I work at a small startup and a biotech company, and I love being in the lab. I like being hands-on. I love learning. And I'm deeply engaged in my tennis community with a PLTA. Shout out.
Yes, PLTA. We're both a part of PLTA, and that is the, well, technically it's like the gay and lesbian tennis league in Philadelphia. But why did you join? Can you tell me that?
Yeah, so I don't know if it's funny story, but it was pretty cute. I was working at another company about 2 years ago, and there was a coworker of mine who was actually my first friend when I joined that company. When I was leaving, we were both really sad, and he grew to be like a really good friend of mine, and he was actually the president of the PLTA. So Jeff was really one of my closest friends at my last job, and when I was leaving, he knew that I played tennis, and I haven't played as much, but I was willing to get back into it, and so he asked if I was interested in joining a couple drills that was organized by the PLTA, and I joined. And funny enough, he wasn't even there when I first joined, but it's okay. It's like I was like just tossed into the pit, but like the people that were a part of the drills, all of them were really great. I made I made a lot of new friends, and the more I went, the more people I met, and I don't know, I felt like I was just in a good place, and I liked playing tennis, and everyone wanted to get better, and I enjoyed my conversations both off and on the court. Some may classify me as a chatty Cathy when I play, but listen, I wasn't judged, so I just kept at it, and 2 years later, here I am still playing.
Awesome. I love that. Justin, why don't you tell us a little bit about you?
My name is Justin King. I am 35. Been married for 10 years. Got 3 kids. And that's pretty much it, man. To be honest with you, I don't know, man. Like the marriage thing. Once you get married, man, your wife and your kids become your life. So that's pretty much
You're
it.
35?
Yeah. And I fix computers for a living, so I do IT.
And just to let the audience know, in case I hadn't made it very clear, this is kind of like the straight side of this.
Oh, I'm on the wrong side.
No, you are exactly. Yeah,
Girl, you've fallen off the side, the gay side.
Ow.
Onto the gayer side.
Ow.
No, you're exactly where you're supposed to be, right at the bottom.
Kerplunk.
So let's jump into this topic. Are gay and straight male friendships hard to have?
I'm gonna remove the gay and straight. It's just any relationship. Does it work? Because I love straight men. I have some great straight men in my life that I'm really close with. For me, it's not an issue, but like that's because they're good people that we just like are on the same wavelength.
Got you.
Growing up, I didn't really understand the whole sexuality thing, so I wasn't really aware of there being issues with straight or gay or any gender identity. So I always made it a point to just surround myself with people that made me smile and laugh, like early on growing up. So
I just feel like there may be some differences in the community, and as I'm sure like you are uniquely positioned to kind of see like the differences in both sides, because as part of PLTA, and I guess like in just your general personal life, you kind of see both sides. Like, what would you say would be some of those differences, and do you see them kind of clashing at all?
I think personally, I'm sorry.
No.
I think relationships in general, friendships in general, I feel like, for me, this is just me personally, I just don't believe in friendship like that. I believe that people kind of link together all over like common common interests that you have are kind of what bond you going to work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think once you leave school, you don't really get an opportunity to meet too many people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So once you're out of high school or out of college, if you go, then your opportunity to meet people is kind of just work or just at the club.
Yeah.
You're not really meeting
or
people.
like a community organization or something like that.
Something
yeah.
like that. But I mean, you got to be involved in stuff like that. If you were just a average person that just, I mean, I don't think most average people are involved in their community all like that. I think it's mostly like people just go to work, man.
We are, though. In our community, we're involved in community stuff like that because of how small yet big our community is. We feel like included within our own people.
So how...
And I understand that.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But I see how you're saying that, like, you don't see as far as, like, you don't base it based on sexuality. You're just people are people.
Yeah, more so that, and I also, just from my own experiences in life, I just feel like I don't really keep that. I have a very close circle of friends.
Yeah.
But I don't really talk to them all like that. So when you ask the question about, you know, having a relationship as a friend with someone that doesn't identify in the same, like, it's not even like, where will we go and hang out? I feel like a lot of straight dudes, if they're, unless they're married, they're, even if they're married, I feel like a lot of their motivation is females.
Okay.
And so,
Would you agree, Pavan?
Sorry, I'm just trying to like think. Like growing up, since I was a kid, I never really saw there being cliques based off of gender identity. You know, the straights are amongst themselves, and you have the LGBTQ plus community amongst themselves. But I am aware, since growing up, that there has been a greater prioritization of communities that are LGBTQ plus, and it feels that it is harder for, let's say, the ally population, or whether people classify themselves as allies or not, to integrate themselves into those communities. And I'm not sure if it's because they want to, you know, let the LGBT community savor and cherish the inclusion and to prioritize that or not. But for me, I guess it does influence how I go about my daily activity in my social life. You know, whether I'm in a group, I have like different friend groups or groups, you know, at work, my college buddies, my high school buddies, my community, my tennis community buddies. And, you know, across each of those groups, I have noticed that there's a certain composition that differentiates in terms of how we communicate or talk to one another. For example, in my group of college buddies, I think only 2 of them are, you know, classify themselves as queer, whereas the rest of them are primarily hetero. And when we talk, just the feel, it's hard to explain in words, gives off a very hetero based sense. And so when we hang out, we go to breweries or we do hikes, and we don't, you know, talk about things like self-care or grooming. Or
so you never felt like weird being around gay people at all?
Absolutely, positively not.
Yeah, that's
No.
good.
Yeah.
It should be that way.
But there is a separation. I do see it. And am I aware of it, and am I actively trying to integrate my lives so that I don't have to worry about differentiating my personality or my interests based off of who I hang out with? I'm not doing that as much as I should be, or I'm not as aware as I should be, you know? And I feel like part of it is just being from my perspective, a hetero that's not self-aware of, you know, the issues that still persist. But it won't change, you know, what I appreciate or what I like or what I'm interested in, you know? I classify as just, you know, as a being that has interests, and whether those interests are categorized in a heteronormal community or a non-hetero, non-binary community, that to me doesn't matter.
That's so nice to hear. That's so nice to hear, because like my partner's friends, his girlfriend, their husbands make me feel that way. Like they don't see that, oh, Noel is just the gay friend, and like Noel is just the friend.
Yeah, there shouldn't be that label.
It should be that label, and like I felt that label like a lot of my life with straight people like that.
Like you're the gay one. Yeah,
I'm the gay one, especially being in my career, like being a chef. Like I was the gay chef amongst hetero toxic environment.
And so
you kind of shared with me before, I think you have a different you have a different relationship with your girlfriend's husbands versus Noel's girlfriend's husbands. Christian, sorry.
I mean, Carlos.
Carlos.
I do.
Let me back up. Okay.
I do. Like, for example, like, I've been in almost every wedding of all my girlfriends from high school. The time that I felt like I wasn't part of the bro situation was when I had to be picked on what side to stand on. And it happened one time to me where I felt like, oh, I'm only going there because like I'm her friend, and I was the only gay guy in the wedding party. So when I stood up there, I was like, I kind of like, why could I be with all the guys?
Yeah,
like I can roll. I could be.
So
one,
you're one of the bridesmaids.
I was one of the bridesmaids.
I'm sorry. That's hilarious.
I didn't feel as included as I was in the other two that I've been in. I was just on the groom's side because I was a guy, and I didn't like to feel that segregation of having to be with women.
Yeah, it's interesting because I feel like when you have that label on you as like the gay one, then you're treated a little bit differently, as opposed to just being one of the guys, or, you know, one of the friends or whoever. My experience with that is growing up, and I think Justin, you have been party to some of these situations where it's like, you know, we'll have conversations with our cousins or something, and I don't know if you even notice, but sometimes I just kind of space out, and I'm just like, I'm not even in this conversation because y'all are talking about a bunch of different stuff.
Well, that was kind of what my point was earlier. The interests are different, and so you end up you need your own space, with your own community of people that share interests that you're interested in. I mean, I could only imagine what it would be like for me on the other side of that, being like, you know, the only
everybody's talking about Beyonce.
I'm just saying, you know, I don't want to take it there. You got a bunch of dudes talking about a bunch of like, you know what I mean? Talking about a bunch of girls, and you're like, dude, I don't even care. You know what I'm saying?
Weren't you telling me earlier that men are driven by females?
Absolutely.
Is Beyonce a female?
Absolutely.
Period.
I'm just saying, that's just what.
There is some common ground. There is some common ground there. So some of my friends have been watching drag lately. Okay. And you know when. You don't like drag? I'm kidding. Okay. So when they talk about this latest season, I feel like I'm not included, and you know that actually gives me interest to get into drag and watch a couple seasons. So I did ask for recommendations, and I am going to watch it. Okay. Just because I want to have that feeling of inclusion. And it doesn't mean that I'm not interested in it. It's that I would like to be included. And I feel both sides have that same desire to not have to use labels to feel included, but to use interests and to find some common ground. And it is going to be a difficult thing to move forward with. But I feel like with our generation, and we're moving towards that.
Right. Oh, absolutely. When you had mentioned, like, you know, you guys meet up at breweries, you go on hikes, I'm like, ooh.
I'm not a beer drinker like
but
that.
But it's interesting because there are a lot of gay guys
who
do
do
the same thing.
There are.
So, I mean, it's just like, it's, I guess it's like a different twist or a different flavor on it when it's like a group of gay men going to a brewery or a group of straight men going to a brewery or going on a hike or something. Like, there are just different, it's just a different side of it. Like, you got it's a little extra sugar on top, you know. That's all.
They go hiking to take thirst traps.
Shirts are off.
I love nature.
Instagram is popping.
I can't.
I know I said brewery hiking, but like I know so a lot of my my straight friends love cars and mechanics, and that's where I actually have a disconnect because I hate anything to do with cars and mechanics and like.
I went to my straight friends for that. I'm like, do you know how to put in a set of brakes? I'm like, yeah. It's like, here's my car.
See, that's where having a straight guy.
I had Justin change my tire several times. So yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't want to know.
Other than being related, obviously, like, is there a common?
I'm not even finished, but I have two specific follow-up points.
Okay, go ahead.
You want to go first?
No,
Other than being siblings, like, do you have a common interest with Justin, vice versa?
No,
none.
Oh,
that's my brother, and I love him.
We have plenty.
We talk about finances. We talk about you know, we have other things. Anime. We like anime.
Yeah.
This is my brother, but we are, I would say, closer to best friends, even though we don't communicate all like that anymore.
Not anymore. It's interesting because I feel like we were closer when we were younger.
Yeah.
I think growing up and becoming independent adults, I feel like there's a little bit of a separation not in a negative way, but just like a natural, like you have your life, I have mine, and it's very different. He has a wife and kids. Yeah. I have,
Dungeons and Dragons.
I'm gonna be real. I feel like the disconnect, or not the disconnect, but where we kind of gone different directions was me getting married. Once you get married, I mean, you're over there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's funny because like my brother and I are 4 years apart, and we weren't that close growing up. We are close now because we've hit several like adult things that he started coming to me for advice on how to handle things. I'm like, my big brother coming to little brother for stuff, and it doesn't matter because I'm gay, he's straight. It's relationships are like hard as it is. So that's the one common thing that now we understand. Like, we've both been through trauma with our past lives, with relationships, stuff like that. So like for him to call me almost every day to talk to me, it was like, what, like, where's this coming from? Because like now he sees me as like not as an equal, just like we share a common thing that's happened, that we can both speak on, and like we see each other now like all the time.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome.
I wish I had that.
See, he start. I wasn't gonna be shady on this episode.
Oops. Must be nice.
Greg, did you have something that you wanted to ask?
It feels so unsubstantial after all that. Really. Sorry. We were talking about cars. I wasn't judging you. I'm not claiming that I can like fix a car. I can do stuff, but I have a straight friend for that. We'll get to him. And but no, fun fact: I learned how to change a tire in a snowstorm on Valentine's Day, driving home from a Spice Girls concert.
That's the gayest thing I've ever heard.
But there was a cop there and was like talking me through it. Like I was like, "Oh, are you not just gonna do it?" He was like, "No, you're gonna." I was like,
"Oh my
this
god,
bitch!"
Like you're gonna learn today.
So I know how to change a tire. Girl power.
Was it a snow? You said a snowstorm?
2007, because we shouldn't have driven. But I was like, "We're reunion tour. Hello, they're coming. I'm going."
Yeah.
But one of my best like straight guy friends, Tom. He's not around here. Lives like in. We've known each other since college. He is very like. You wouldn't like, people will like with him about being gay, but like he doesn't present as gay. Like he loves cars. He has like a tattoo shop. Like we're best friends, but he also really loves Taylor Swift. Confusing. Okay. I don't overlap with him there, but like he has these things that he's into that I'm just like, Tom, you're an enigma. Like he loves Mean Girls. Trying to think so we'll just like do stuff today. He's like, oh, he loves shopping. He's like, we need a dude date. So like I hang out with Tom all the time. Like date? I had like
bro dates,
car stuff, and he's just like, oh, drop it off. Like I work with his wife went to college with us as well, but like and his wife works with me. And there little time we were traveling for work, he's like, yeah, I'll drop off Joanna and I'll just like pick up your car and take it home and fix it for you while you're traveling for work. I was like, Tom, I love you.
Now see, that's the kind of straight friendships I need.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I love
fix my car.
I love, but I don't even have to ask. They do it. He buys me expensive bottles of whiskey for no reason. Like it's like he's trying to court me without.
He knows how to keep you. How to keep you as a friend. So one of the questions that I did want to ask is why, and I guess this is more to the gay side of the panel. Why do gay men always get crushes on straight guys? Like, what is that about?
It's like the mystery of like because you can't have it.
Yeah.
It's like you can be an attractive like straight man and like like that's completely like something unobtainable. In your mind you might have a fantasy of like having experience with a straight guy to see what that's like, whatever, or like the guy's like, I think I'm falling in love with you, bro. I don't know what's happening with my life. Can we like figure this shit out, or like experiment, whatever?
I mean, you hear stuff like that happening sometimes.
That's not That's not reality, though.
I've been with some straight men.
I have never been with a straight person,
quote unquote. Yeah.
Quote unquote. I've had bromances with straight friends, and it's like feels like I have a boyfriend type of person.
Yeah, but it's like
it's never like that. No, it's the respect thing.
I don't know. I think it's just. I think part of it is we grow up seeing this like ideal of like a man, and then I feel like straight men definitely fit that a lot easier. And so I think that's like our initial attraction goes to
Daddy issues.
It goes to that like Prince Charming kind of archetype, or like, this like really like masculine guy who just behaves a certain way that a lot of that the stereotypical gay guy may not. Have you guys ever been hit on?
Well, now I have a question to ask.
Yeah.
So you said that. Now I'm kind of curious. What type of straight heteronormal guy would you go for? A masculine, or one that's feminine, or one that has their shit together? I don't know.
So here's okay. So this is interesting. I have a good answer to this one, because if you're talking about like straight men who are masculine and feminine, straight men have, I feel, the license to be a little bit more feminine because they play it off as very masculine. So what I'm trying to say is they can paint their nails, they can do the long hair, they can do something a little bit different and still be like, He-Man in it. Like they can I don't know. I was gonna say like it's almost like a guy wearing a kilt or something, even though that like
That's
technically
hot.
like that doesn't. But I'm saying like the more you can play it off. Whereas if I were to do that kind of stuff, I'd look like I'm
A
trying
drag
to
queen.
turn into RuPaul.
Okay.
A wish
You know what I'm
version.
saying?
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
different. So for me personally, I don't really have. I wouldn't have a preference if I could choose a straight man, whether they would be masculine or feminine. But on a gay man, I would choose to be a little bit more masculine, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
And is that problematic?
No. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say it's not fair to a lot of people. Not fair to you, because when I came out, I wanted like a straight acting man to avoid being noticeable that I was gay, whatever. As I got comfortable with myself, like I'm not the same person I was in high school or whatever. After I came out, like even now, like I'm more myself than I've ever been. So like my taste in men have changed for sure.
It's interesting because I also think the attraction to masculinity is almost a safety net as well. It's almost like, okay, I'm gay, but I'm as close to normal as possible, so you guys can't really say anything, kind of thing.
I stopped looking at like outside stuff and more like inside stuff and mental stuff, because like I can fall in love with a straight acting gay or feminine looking gay. Like doesn't matter. Just like it's what our common interests are. Like we like each other. It's like doesn't matter. At this point, like I don't care who's turning their heads to look at me and my partner at this point. I don't give a fuck. Where I used to.
I agree with that.
I was like, oh, you gotta wear painted nails today. I was like, that's what I would think years back, but now I would like, I'll paint them too.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I agree on that. I have my taste in men has changed drastically, but I also like a lot of different things. Yes, I can sit here and be like, ooh, that guy across, like he's really good looking, but when it comes down to it, I'd rather date like a 5 or a 6 that I can like connect with. It comes down to the person, like what's on the inside.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the joint kind of connection.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Have you been hit on?
Yes.
By some, you've been. I know you have.
Okay.
I could already. I mean, I
I'm
only
so
say that.
surprised that Justin gets hit on
Okay,
by a
okay.
game.
I'm sure
Nah,
he has.
I mean,
I would be terrified.
definitely had like something I guess recently on my Instagram DM one time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did they get crazy in the DM?
Nah, just
Okay.
he commented on one of my stories, and I was just like, okay, and I just ignored it and kept moving. But I was doing the physical training and all that stuff.
Oh, you were
so-
working out.
Yeah, so I, you know what I mean. But yeah, no, I was getting ready to say about what you guys were talking about. I think you guys are just men, and so men are. We're men are gross. Period.
Thank
so
you.
What,
We are gross.
yeah, I mean, until we're just honest about it, like. I've tried to put myself in your shoes, right? And I'm like, all right, well, I like women, right? So I don't think I care whether a woman is straight or gay. If she looks good and she carries herself feminine,
Yeah.
I think she looks good, and I would hit that.
Okay.
And I feel like you guys,
That's how I feel,
Kind of the
bro.
same.
crushes are just the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like you guys are men, and so at the end of the day, you're still driven by that same,
Mhm.
man thing.
Yeah.
in a different way.
I think the only thing that bothers me is when like a gay guy tries to be too bro for me, try to hide any kind of like vulnerability. That bothers me so much.
And you know, it's interesting because you can always sense when it's like fake or forced.
Yeah.
Or it's like you'll say something like, you know, are you upset? No, I'm not upset.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, just feel the feelings.
Just own it.
Just own it. It's
Yeah.
fine. Nobody thinks less of you because you feel something. But let's pause because I have to reset these cameras.
But I do classify as straight, although I do have to say there are times where I catch my eyes upon someone, whether they're straight or not. Good looking? Yeah, that are very good looking. Or just from yeah, I find you good looking actually. I think you hold yourself in a very sexual, sophisticated way. I like it, but no, like, and
thank you.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna throw this out here. He has a boyfriend, I don't. So.
But you know, at the end of the day, I think whether you're against straight or not,
I think confidence is just a very overall sexually good thing.
Like,
Yeah, it is. It is.
Even
Even with women, with like I'm not straight.
Yeah.
But when I see a woman that is like holds her own, and she's a boss bitch, I'm like, I will let you do things to me.
Yeah. I see it more platonic as well too, because I do value the bond that you have with a partner.
Yeah.
And having that commitment and loyalty, I value that. But I also value very close bonds in the terms of there being a platonic relationship, being friendship. So I'm not uncomfortable having close bonds with other people, despite what their labels are.
I disagree.
With?
I don't find.
When you
I don't find the boss bitch attractive at all.
You don't?
No.
That's preference. Everyone
No,
has a preference.
I think that is. I think females find that woman attractive more than men.
And I mean in a way that she's holding her own and she's still without a man and she's just like
I don't like that.
No. You like the damsel in
Yeah,
distress?
I mean, I'm be honest. I really do think I like
Does it
that.
feel like that will like demonetize you for? I don't know the word. Thank you.
I wouldn't say demasculate. I just feel like
it's
Alright, well,
we know where we're going.
Yeah, okay.
I don't feel like that. I just I don't know. I just find qualities of I guess being relied on. I like that.
Okay.
I like that. I like to be.
But doesn't mean they don't like that in straight men. It's like they just.
No, it just makes it harder. I would say
it does.
It makes it harder.
It
because
does.
I think when you start getting into that realm, right, you have to be so much more in order to keep that relationship. Mm-hmm. You have to be, as the man, you have to be so much more because what would she, what's the point of you?
Like she don't need you.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
she does need you for something.
Not really, not really. That's the thing. Is like when you get into that, it gets kind of weird because, even if you look at like celebrity relationships, they don't really seem to work out like that because both sides, nobody needs anybody. So it's.
Do you think Jay-Z doesn't need Beyonce, vice versa?
It works for whatever reason. It's working out, but
paperwork.
I think
I find femininity in I hate to say it because it sounds wrong, but a little bit of naivety is cute.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to show someone something, helps you. I'm trying to be very careful because I don't want to say anything crazy. I like leading my wife. I personally like the fact that my wife hasn't been to certain places. I could take her and show her these things. Yeah. She hasn't had the car, so she gets to, I get to show her that. And I get, in my own respect, obviously I
your own
feel
validation.
Like relationships personally is like, it's all about service to each other. And I think where I'm trying to be careful is I'm not trying to sound like I need somebody to need me where they can't do for themselves at all.
No, that's not saying
anything
that at
like
all.
that.
No.
I don't want to sound like chauvinistic or anything like that. But
that's your love language to just provide.
All sorts of love language.
You sounded like you wanted you had something to say before we move on to our next question.
We're an observation, and it's from what Josh said. I think from a scientific side of things, behaviorally, there's so many forms of how you perceive yourself or how you perceive yourself in a relationship. Growing up, you know, I think if you take us, let's say, a couple centuries back, we were all exposed to a socioeconomical background where you have this paternal figure that is the head of the household, provides the bread, supports the family, and you have the maternal side that instinctually is there to raise the children and to be there to do the household chores and to support the man of the house. Man, woman, very black and white.
Mm-hmm.
But over the years,
the economy
we've
changed.
evolved.
The economy has changed, and it ruined, and it kind of messed that up.
I wouldn't say it messed it up. I would say that there's more behavioral diversity now, and I think we should be embracing it and allow everyone to have a preference.
Mhm.
Whether you want to grow up being that provider, whether you want to grow up being relied on or to be taken care of, or to be, let there be a mix of the two.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying, you know, this right now, there's so many more perspectives. I think relationships are so complicated, and you know, it works when you find that other half that you are able to melt with so flawlessly and have something that you live for, that you enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think whatever that perspective be is all right. And it's hard because nowadays to find a relationship,
Right.
there's so many different types of people that have that the desire to be with someone that has a particular trait or mindset. But you know,
I have a
that's what
question
makes it
for
fun.
both of you. Like, now that you have children, you're both married, right? Is it easier to probably have gay guy friends than straight male friends? And the fear of, like, do you have to watch your back more with straight guy friends? And
Oh, you're saying because I'm married? I don't trust anyone anyway. So I'm gonna be real. I think anybody would try to fuck my girl. So I don't.
can I see her?
Yeah, you can pull her up. You want to pull her up? You can pull her up. Yeah, look, I'll pull her
I'm
up.
actually on the opposite side
I've
of
never
things.
been gay my whole life, by the way. I came out when I was 22.
But
I was straight all 16 years before I came out. Is that like
Dang.
what?
Oh, like I had like
you were straight before you were.
I came out. Yeah,
N-
is that right?
Oh, he's literally pulling her up.
And so while you guys are looking at pictures of his wife,
Damn.
So I don't like I said, I don't trust anybody. I always feel like you know, if she's gonna cheat, she's gonna cheat. So I don't really worry about it like that. I'm confident in myself and what I bring to the table. So I'm not really, you know, if she showed me any type of sign where I couldn't trust her, I would have been out. But I can trust her with my eyes closed.
She's beautiful.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Were you about to say something?
yeah, I just wanted to answer the question.
Oh.
You said, am I less scared now that I'm married in the chance of a straight man taking my wife, my
No.
partner? Or
Do you feel safer being with gay friends than straight friends?
actually, I've never felt scared.
Neither.
General?
Not general concern.
No.
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 I also don't have
Do
any like I'm trying to think of like gay friends that like I don't have any. I have Jarrod, I have my cousin. That's pretty much like it. I don't
Yeah.
really have any, and it's not
Well,
anything
yeah, but
personal
you
with
don't-
gay people.
Your thing is you
I
don't.
don't really have friends
you don't
all like that
Go out
that
and
I
have
hang out
a whole bunch of
with.
a huge circle.
Because
like
we
that
got to ask
anyway.
yourself, what's your point in like even going anywhere or hanging out? Like, what's the point? You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
My question to ask you though is, why do you think I would be scared being with friends that, you know, are queer or a part of the community
Not scared. Just
before
like
being married?
if you were to
Or in a committed
have
relationship.
like straight friends. When you have gay friends, there's no like I don't have to watch this guy around my girl, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
here's
so
the thing.
yeah,
So just because, and this goes for women too, just because there's a woman that hangs out with men that are not classified as queer, or a guy that is in a group of friends that classify themselves as queer, I don't think we should be afraid, because it's not as if, you know, people, whether you're straight or not, doesn't dictate how sexual you are. The desire to fuck someone. I think that is a common misconception, and I think it's especially seen in the LGBTQ plus community, where if you do classify yourselves as queer, not myself personally, but I do feel like there's a thought that because you're gay, you want to fuck every guy that you see, and I think that is utter bullshit.
Because I
I
feel
don't think that's what you're
And
saying.
so
no.
I want to make it known that
because
that
I
is
feel
not
with
what I
our
think.
community, like
And it
a
is
lot
an
of gay
issue.
guys have more straight girlfriends
Yeah.
because they don't know how to be with gay friends. Because there
Because men have bad
a
intentions.
because we
That's
are
just
pigs.
what it is.
Because we are
Yeah,
pigs.
I mean, we got to be honest about it.
There's a lot of
And-
gay guys who have girlfriends because they don't know how to maintain a gay on gay friendship.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying men.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Gay,
oh,
you're
oh, I
saying
thought
gay
you-
men don't know how.
I thought you were saying.
I also feel
ahead, I'm
like if you're in a relationship with a guy in a gay relationship, because of the dynamics of how our community is, we're probably going to have a lot of friends anyway. And so he's going to have his set of friends. I'm going to have my set of friends, and we might be mixing in friends or something like that. And I got to watch y'all because I would be watching I'd be side eyeing everybody.
I don't disagree with that, bro.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it depends. It also depends, like, on the closeness of the relationship is what I'm saying. Like, my good friends, I wouldn't have to worry about them. But like some other people, just like the general group, I know how
you
y'all
better
roll.
watch
There
her.
are women
You know what I'm
predators
saying?
too, but
I-
I don't feel like at a great frequency.
I think his
men
original
predators.
question was, do you have to watch? Do you feel like you need to be careful with your friends around your wife? Is that what your original question was? Versus
Yeah, you're a straight
guy friends
Yeah.
around your wife versus
Yeah.
gay dudes around your wife.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And obviously, I would agree.
I
yeah,
disagree.
I would
See,
agree.
and
You
I get
should.
what you're
But
saying,
I don't feel
too.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I do understand where the question comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should. Around, if you're, I feel like if your girl is hanging around guys, period, something's up.
Do you right? So you
There might just be her friends.
Dudes are not friends with you. That's
alright,
what I'm
so
trying to
let's-
tell you.
it's,
All right,
it's,
so
like,
anyway.
it's like that for us. Like it's some guys don't
They're
hang
not
out
your
with
friend.
My wife has friends at her work that are men, and they're straight, and I have no qualms.
Yeah.
And because I have that level of trust. But I do acknowledge what Justice is saying.
That may be a rare relationship. I gotta stop.
I
It
want it
might
to be normal.
it might
I
be
want
a
it to be
very
normal.
confident, secure relationship.
Yeah.
I'm saying that may be.
Not
What I'm
saying
trying
yours
to
is
say
insecure.
is I hear what you're saying is that it really doesn't matter because even if a woman is in a group of gay men, if they want to sleep together, they can go sleep together.
Yeah.
Because
I've
stuff
done it.
happens.
I've
Gender
done it.
woman in a
identity
group of
is a
gay dudes?
fluid
Yeah.
motion.
Huh?
You said a woman in a group with gay men.
Yeah.
If they want to sleep together, that's. I mean,
I mean,
What are we doing?
It happens.
what are we doing here?
I'm
And
just
would
saying.
you would
talking
you would you
about
classify
right now?
that as cheating? Now that's the question
Yes,
I wanted to
that's-
ask.
that's definitely
Thank you.
Yes,
So,
that's cheating.
yes.
That's cheating. Yes.
In
Now-
any relationship where a partner is, engaging in an activity that, defies the trust of another, I classify that as cheating.
Hmm.
And who you are does not matter,
Hmm.
or what you classify yourselves does not matter to me.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
I
so-
feel like you got to be careful with if your person is into, like, if your wife is into women, and you're into women, and your wife wants to, you know what I mean, and it doesn't bother you, then that's one thing. You know what I mean? But if
everybody's different.
You better be careful.
Everybody's
around
different.
Your,
Every
around
relationship
your,
is different.
Your bros hanging around, or what are you bros hanging around for? I don't even understand. Like, I don't get it. What are you over here for? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what I know how I am.
and acknowledge that.
Me personally, dog, it's all over me.
I love it.
I'm not hanging around
I
your
love
chick,
it.
bro. And if I am, be careful, bro.
I love it.
Be careful. Don't cross me because it'll go wrong.
I'm,
Oh
jealous,
my
I'm jealous of
God.
your wife. I feel like you're very protective and
Well,
you care
she's-
for her well-being.
see her?
above all else. So
I appreciate that.
I appreciate that. So I do acknowledge that.
Yeah. So another thing, now that we're like into like straights and gays being in different spaces, Why are more straight men in gay clubs? Can y'all tell me about that?
Oh, yes, please. Can we keep you out?
Why are y'all here?
Because they're gay brothers there, and I asked them to go.
So he has
His
familial
birthday.
ties.
Jared's the problem.
I've been with him on it.
Really?
Yeah, on his birthday, I went with him once.
Yeah.
and,
He went to-
How do you
He went to
feel? How do
voyeur.
you feel? To
how,
voyeur?
how was it?
That was a straight bar.
Ah, that's a
I was
straight
with-
bar.
First of all, I was
More
with
gay
my
back
wife.
in the day, but
Yeah,
I brought my
care.
wife,
Not as much.
and I went with him.
Taking a bike stop.
Take the bike
Oh,
stop.
I love
Hell
bike stop.
no.
I have a friend that works there.
Of course
Oh,
you do,
really?
Pavan. Ally.
Yeah. Actually, I think it started when I was a freshman, and my friends. Actually, I've never had a straight man ask me if I wanted to go to a gay club,
Mhm.
and it makes enough sense.
Yeah.
But I've only had my friends that were part of the community that asked me out, and I say yeah. Why? Because I just think it's more fun, and I feel like when I'm at a gay club as opposed to a straight club, this is where I'm gonna state a stereotype that I hate, but I will acknowledge, is that at gay clubs, I feel like the level of openness is just greater, and I meet people that are more comfortable with themselves and comfortable with opening a discussion with someone else. The music's actually a lot better, the drinks are better too, and I just think you're out to have more fun.
Yeah.
And
You're
get
meeting
that.
sluts.
You are.
No,
What are you doing after we finish recording?
Okay. Do my friends
Going back to his
obviously
wife.
go to have relationships? My wife's okay if I go out. At the Philly Open last year, I went out to celebrate at U Bar,
Yeah.
and that's a great place.
Mhm.
And she wasn't like nervous or
Yeah.
anything, but I had genuinely had a great time, and I feel like I have a better time at clubs that open in that are open to the community. I feel like I just have a more fun time there.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I
And
mean,
wish
I
it could be
wonder
every
if
club.
that is. I mean, I guess there could be a couple of things. Like, I think naturally, I don't know. I don't know whether naturally gay spaces are more open. What were you gonna say?
I do have one more thing to say as
Yeah.
well. Is that when I do go to gay clubs, it's not as if I talk to only people that are are queer. I do talk to women and men that
Mhm.
are homosexual in nature, and I enjoy talking and hanging out with them too.
Mhm.
So it's just weird. I feel like those bars are very open, not just for the community, but in general. And I feel
Mhm.
like everyone that goes there has a positive mindset.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
are more embracing.
Well, for us, I would prefer a straight man to come to our spaces rather than a girl, honestly, because like one, a straight man knows how to compose himself in a gay place. Sometimes. Two is eye candy for me.
Okay.
When a girl comes in, it's like they're in like Disneyland, like, it's like touch everything. Like, hey girl, it's like sometimes they don't know how to, like, because they're too comfortable.
Yeah.
They don't know how to act accordingly, and sometimes like you need to remove her.
Well, I think
from here.
I think there is a different level. I feel like there's different energies that both straight men and straight women bring.
Yeah.
And depending on, I guess, just how cool they are, it really, you'll have like the bachelorette types who will come in and like f your shit up.
You're like,
See, and I want to.
I hate those. I hate
I
that.
mean,
and then
I'm-
you'll also have like the dude bros who come in who are like, don't look at me, don't touch me, and they give off like this, I'll punch you in your face if you even like look at
Like,
me.
don't
I've
worry,
noticed
babe,
that.
I wasn't
You're-
looking.
do you
Why
know
are they there in
where-
the
do
first
you know where you
place?
are? What'd you say?
Why are they there in the first
Right,
place?
exactly.
girl brought
because
them.
their girlfriend brought them there, and they're not comfortable. And I'm like, well, y'all you shouldn't be here. Where do you guys think the line is drawn between being open to allowing like allies or straight people into our space versus it being a little bit more of like an encroachment?
Well, I'm all for it because I'm definitely guilty of bringing lots of straight people to gay bars, men and women. The thing is, like, I'm not bringing woo girls. Like, I know the people that I'm bringing, they're people that I trust, that I know are gonna act accordingly. And at the same point, if I'm ever in a group where I'm on like a bachelorette or something and it's never happened, I'm like, we are not going to like a gay bar. We're not doing this. Like, so like that honestly hasn't even happened. But like, so for me, it just comes down to like approach the situation like with respect. I'm like, I'm down to have anyone kind of come into our space. I know for the longest time people would always complain like, oh, like Woody's gone straight. I'm like, I don't care. I personally never had an issue, but I know like before like marriage was legalized, a lot of people felt a certain kind of way about bachelorettes. It's like, you're coming to kind of flaunt that you can get married in front of us unknowingly.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
And it's like,
yeah.
well, we can't have that. And then there's also like to that point too, like if they're inappropriate and don't know how to act and want to get like touchy and like it's just like you said, like a
many
museum.
drinks like spilled on
Oh.
me on purpose, like just being reckless.
Yeah.
I'm like, stop.
So if you come in with respect and know how to kind of and just That's all
Yeah.
it comes down to.
Yeah.
That just another observation. I'm glad you did say this. Is that when there are bachelorette parties that came into, let's say, gay bars, and before same-sex marriage was approved in 2015. I'm glad you said that because I guess being a hetero, and I do classify myself as an ally, but I want to try to be more of an actioned ally as opposed to just a verbed ally. Is that I want to be more aware of the problems that are internalized in the community, such as feeling inflicted with emotional pain when you see bachelorette parties and before the same-sex marriage was applied, feeling sad that you couldn't have the same right as heterosexual couples would have. And I'm glad you said that because that is something I want to internalize and continue expressing in the future to come. It's
So you get bachelorette parties
All the time.
just straight like all girls.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And
With
my
the-
thought on that.
Straight girls and me the token.
My thought on that is these girls would like to go to a
To the
strip
straight
club.
Oh, to a strip club?
Yeah, they would like to go to a male strip club. So instead, they go to the gay club so they can feel like they're around men and they're wilding out without feeling
We're tokens. We're like
they're-
little like.
without feeling like they're cheating or
Yeah.
doing anything wrong. That's why
But
they
I
get
also feel like
frisky.
if they go to like a straight club, then they have to worry about like,
Men
the
hitting on 'em?
Yeah.
Easy, man.
Do
Yeah.
you imagine us going to like I don't know, Hooters with like dicks around our necklaces and like?
no, trust
like,
me, I get it.
Like, yeah, I'm here for my bachelor party.
They think
We should
you're gonna-
do
they
that.
think you're going to turn up for them, too. That's the other part. It's like, bro, like,
Yeah.
what are y'all doing, man?
Yeah.
What are we doing
Host.
here?
Yeah. I do want to get some advice because we always end our episodes with advice. I want to ask our straight men, what advice can you give to gay men who sometimes have to go into your territory and network if they may feel a little uncomfortable being around the crowd that wants to, talk about
It's a good question.
football and stuff like that?
Man, my advice would just be yourself. I mean, it's just who you are. You are who you are. Just be you. And if people don't like you for you, then that is what it is. I mean, you can't go around trying to be a chameleon. If you are who you are, that's who you are. And before we end the show, I did want to say that this is a very smart person sitting next to me. He's very smart, emotionally intelligent. It seems like he's trying to push some agenda forward, or that he has, some way that he thinks the world should go. And I appreciate, that you're, very thoughtful, at least in the way that you approach life. I personally, I don't see myself putting
That's so
myself
nice.
into a lot of his situations that he seems to throw himself into. And so I appreciate it. I thought it was very nice to hear. I honestly, I didn't think.
Can you do a
that
hand-
straight
a
men did
handshake?
stuff like that.
Is that a
Of course,
bro-
man.
brush?
You guys,
Absolutely.
you know what? You guys can hug.
Aw.
Yay, that's the gay handshake.
I respect that. Exactly what
Yeah.
Just said. Honestly, whether you're straight or not, if you want to, I guess, try to work towards integrating and just feeling like you're a part of a group or a place where you feel left out of, just got to be yourself and try to avoid any superficial thoughts or have any fears. And I think if you truly express who you are as a person, the receiving end will hopefully internalize that and try to make you feel more comfortable.
Mhm.
And hopefully we can get to a point where we don't need to have these pre-thoughts
Yeah.
and that we can be more fluid and not have to have any barriers.
Yeah.
There's a lot more I can say, but I'm just gonna leave it there
Okay.
for now.
Okay. Sounds good. So for our gay men over here, what advice can you give to straight men when entering gay spaces?
Just don't look afraid. The same thing in reverse. Be yourself. Come with an open heart, open mind. Knowing that you are in a space created for us, that we feel safe. You have many other spaces you could go to. So we will gladly include anyone if they respect the space we're in. That's all I can say. Just don't make us feel like you're coming to a zoo and watching us do everything.
That's the thought that I had. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do feel that.
Like, why is he touching him there?
Yeah.
Why are they both going to the bathroom?
Such a bird's
But you know
eye
what?
question.
Gay guys, the way I see my gay friends, like, I do stuff that girls do together. Like, we're going to the bathroom? Let's all go to the bathroom. That's the way I see my friends like that. It's like being one of my girls. That's the way, that's the way I am. Or me and most of us are, so. just treat us like regular people.
Mm-hmm. Greg, anything?
I feel like you kind of like hit every bullet point there. I would
Thank
agree
you.
with all of that.
Thank
I
you.
mean, if you want, you can buy me a drink.
Yes, that would be so nice. Like if you would have like looked
Yeah.
at me in a bar and be like, I like the way
I
you
love buying
look.
strangers drinks.
Yeah. I was like, is that from a straight man over there? Send it back. A Shirley Temple.
I'm just guessing.
I'm guessing that's what you
What
guys
you want, a
like,
beer, bro?
A Truly's.
Oh God. Wait, do they classify as gay drinks?
Sure.
So I once was talking with a straight guy in a gay club, and he had like, I don't know, like a whiskey or something on the table. I didn't know he was straight at the time, but I looked at it. I just kind of clocked it. I was like, oh, okay.
I'm not sure if he was.
We know what's up.
My drink of choice is a gimlet.
I'm not sure if he was.
Yeah.
He was.
You
though.
thought you were talking to him.
If you send me a whiskey ginger, then I was like,
I
oh, he
confirmed
sees me.
later. But anyway, what my piece of advice would be is you don't have to feel uncomfortable in a gay space. If you come into a gay space, it's really just like any other bar, just a little bit more fabulous, a little bit more glitter. The guys are going to be bopping a Britney, whereas, you know, at the Fox and Hound, they're going to be like this, but internally they'll be bopping a Britney. You know, the straight guys love Britney, but they just pretend like they don't.
I'm a Lady Gaga fan, actually.
Okay,
So.
see, exactly.
Wow, this is where the podcast gets divisive.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, it's like, you know, it's very different, the cultures and the way like even I will kind of like tighten up if I'm in like a straight bar or something like that. I will try not to be too extra.
Why are you there?
Why am I there? I'm
Yes.
probably there because either I'm with, you know, either with a straight friend, or it's an upscale bar, and the gays don't have upscale bars in Philly. So
Knock is kind of upscale.
But you get my
That's
question
old
though. It's
scale.
like, what's your
Old scale.
intention while you're out? You know what I mean? Like, what is your intention? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Because I know,
You know why? Because he doesn't have to look around the room for like the guy looking at him.
I could dig that. I could dig.
He
that.
feels
Me
more
personally,
safer there.
I have like almost. If I leave the house, I have an intention of what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm getting into. Even now,
There
I
is
know
less
what I'm
pressure
doing.
for us to go to straight places.
What's that?
There's less pressure on us to go
facts.
to be like, yeah, they're all straight. I have to like not worry about looking cute or stay a
I
certain
see.
way. It's like, it's, you know what I mean? It's like I'm just there being there. I'm just being me there.
You bored
Yeah.
when you go?
yes.
It depends. I'm
I'm
not
asking real questions.
I'm
because
not. I'm not bored.
I try to ask.
Oh,
why,
are you bored? I thought I heard a different question. Okay.
Am I bored of when I'm there?
Yeah, like is it boring?
No, because it depends on the company I'm with.
Yeah.
Like
'Cause sometimes I'm bored in the neighborhood. Doesn't mean I'm always
Yeah,
having fun just because I'm at a
sometimes,
gay
like,
bar.
all we do is stand around and just fucking look at each other like all the time. If I'm with like a bunch of people at a straight place and with a good crowd, like I don't care what we're at.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I can actually enjoy the music in a gay bar.
I'm in a way where it's like if I leave, I'm usually looking for cheeks when I'm out.
Oh.
So
I can look for those in straight bars too.
you know what I'm saying? Oh, I feel you. Hey, do you? Well, I'm just saying, like, I'm just trying to think of what people's intentions are when they go out because
yeah.
I don't see myself in a space where I won't be able to attract female attention.
Mhm.
I just don't even see myself hanging out unless I'm playing a sport.
Yeah.
Other than that,
Or if you're just out with like your wife or something, or out.
oh
For
well,
birthday,
yeah. I mean,
like
if I'm
you
on
were
vacation
me.
with my wife,
Yeah.
but even if I was on vacation, if it's just me by myself, I know what I'm doing. I'm not out on.
You want to
vacation.
be when you go out. You kind of want to be seen.
Well, I'm on a certain like.
I agree.
He's in party mode.
I
If I'm
understand that.
in party mode, I mean, I'm not going to just have. I don't know, man.
I mean,
I just
not-
don't see myself.
But
just
let's clarify,
sitting there
not
and
as
hanging
a
out.
married man. He is not speaking as
Yeah, I
a
am.
married man.
Yeah.
I am speaking as a married man.
Okay.
Oh,
well.
I
look!
don't see a ring.
I don't see it.
Well, I'm married for sure.
I'm not challenging. I'm just sharing,
Married for sure.
sharing that
I'm just saying.
And
I'm just
on
saying.
nose is
If I'm going on a guy's trip to Miami, like I'm not just going to hang out on the beach with my friends, like
Right.
just on like I'm going with intentions. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
why he
So-
posts those workout videos. He wants
you know,
to be
so
seen.
it's I don't know. I just feel like that's why I asked why are you there? Because I'm like, why would you even waste the day
Yeah.
I don't have
at
to
the
like
club?
be on the hunt to go to a bar. Like I'm not always like looking for
Right.
dick.
No, I
like,
got you.
All right. So we do have to end because one of my cameras is shutting off already. So we're gonna have to close this. But I want to thank you guys for joining us so much. I think we had like a great conversation. And I think that this will be helpful and entertaining to our audience for sure. So until next time, remember, if you have no one else,
you got us.
You got us.
God damn it.
He never gets it.